What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and your greatest achievements isn't your talent, your luck, or your circumstances, but the strength of your mind? Today, we're going to discover how to forge that strength step by step. Have you ever watched someone rise from nothing to achieve greatness and wondered, why them and not me? The truth is, it's rarely about talent. It's about mental toughness. It's about showing up when you'd rather quit, pushing through when others fold, and making decisions that your future self will thank you for. Today, I'm going to reveal the secrets to developing an unshackable mindset, the kind that turns ordinary people into everyday winners. You'll learn why challenges aren't roadblocks, but stepping stones, and why the small choices you make daily shape the champion you are becoming. By the end of this speech, you'll not only understand mental toughness, you'll know exactly how to build it, practice it, and use it to conquer every challenge that life throws at you. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change the way you approach every moment of your life. Life is a series of choices, and the moment you understand this, everything changes. Every person you see, every success story you admire, every individual who seems to have it all figured out has made a decision at some point to take control of their life. That control begins with the simplest, most powerful thing: you have the ability to choose your response. Most people live in reaction to the world around them. They react to circumstances, to people, to news, and to events. Their emotions dictate their actions, and they allow life to push them around like a leaf in the wind. But winners, the ones who consistently achieve, understand that life will always throw challenges, surprises, and setbacks their way, and the only thing they can truly control is how they respond. That understanding alone separates the average from the extraordinary. Think for a moment about the last time something didn't go your way. Maybe a project at work failed, a relationship went through a rough patch, or a financial goal didn't materialize. How did you respond? Did you lash out in frustration? Did you retreat into excuses or blame? Or did you take a deep breath, assess what you could control, and take deliberate action? The power of choice lies in that moment between the event and your reaction. That is the space where mental toughness is born. Every time you consciously choose your response, instead of reacting on autopilot, you train your mind to stay strong under pressure. Consider the small, daily choices you make that most people overlook. The choice to wake up early instead of hitting the snooze button. The choice to exercise instead of staying sedentary. The choice to read and learn instead of scrolling endlessly through distractions. These choices may seem minor, almost trivial, but they compound over time. The person who makes these small, disciplined decisions every day develops a mind that is resilient, a mind that is prepared for bigger challenges, and a mind that doesn't crumble when life tests them. The power of choice isn't just about big, life-altering decisions. It's about mastering the small, consistent actions that shape your character. It's important to understand that external circumstances will never be perfect. Life is unpredictable, and waiting for the perfect moment to act is a trap. There will always be obstacles, setbacks, and conditions that are less than ideal. Winners don't wait for life to hand them opportunities. They choose to take action regardless of circumstances. They understand that no one is coming to save them. No situation will ever be flawless, and the only true power they have is their ability to choose, to act, and to respond. This mindset is what separates those who dream from those who achieve, those who complain from those who create, and those who fail from those who win. Let's dive deeper into what it means to truly exercise choice. Most people confuse choice with freedom. They think freedom is the ability to do whatever they want. But true freedom comes when you can make the right choice, even when it is difficult, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. It's easy to choose what feels good in the moment, but mental toughness requires the courage to choose what serves your long-term success. Choosing to practice patience when you're frustrated choosing to study when you'd rather relax, choosing to take responsibility instead of blaming. These are the choices that define a winner's life. Each choice is a brick in the foundation of a stronger mind, and over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. Now, let's consider the consequences of ignoring this power. When you allow circumstances to dictate your reactions, you give away your strength. You become a victim of life rather than a master of it. You wake up feeling at the mercy of the news, the opinions of others, and uncontrollable events. You find yourself complaining, procrastinating, and feeling stuck. This is the exact opposite of what mental toughness requires. The mentally tough individual doesn't wait for permission, doesn't wait for luck, and doesn't wait for conditions to be perfect. They claim their power through the conscious choices they make every single day. There's also a deeper, more profound aspect of choice that many people overlook: the choice to maintain your values and integrity in the face of pressure. Life will constantly tempt you to compromise, to take shortcuts, or to settle for less than your best. But when you choose to stay aligned with your principles, you strengthen your character and fortify your mind. This is where real mental toughness resides, not in avoiding challenges, but in navigating them with consistency, courage, and clarity. Your choices in these moments define who you are and who you will become. To put it into perspective, think of choice as a muscle. Like any muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. Every time you consciously choose your attitude, your actions, and your responses, you're exercising that muscle. Every time you choose to respond with patience instead of anger, with effort instead of laziness, with courage instead of fear, you strengthen that mental muscle. And just like physical strength, the more you exercise it, the more natural it becomes. Over time, you will find that challenges that once shook you no longer have that power. You will face adversity with confidence, knowing that the strength of your response lies entirely in your hands. Let's bring this idea into the practical realm. If you want to develop mental toughness, start by observing your daily responses. Notice how often you react impulsively, complain, or allow circumstances to control your emotions. Then, begin making small conscious changes. Decide to respond thoughtfully, to pause before reacting, and to take responsibility for your actions. Start with small, manageable situations, then escalate to larger challenges. The point isn't to be perfect, it's to train your mind to recognize that every choice is an opportunity to strengthen your mental resilience. Another vital aspect of choice is the ability to choose your focus. Life will constantly bombard you with distractions, problems, and negative influences. You cannot control everything around you, but you can control where you place your attention. By consciously choosing to focus on what matters, to prioritize solutions over complaints, and to seek growth in every situation, you cultivate a mindset that is immune to external chaos. Winners understand that focus is not a passive state, it is an active decision. Where you direct your focus determines the results you achieve, and choosing wisely is an act of mental toughness. Finally, it's important to recognize that choice is both empowering and humbling. It empowers because it gives you control over your destiny. It humbles because it reminds you that excuses, complaints, and blaming others are self-imposed chains. Every person has moments where life feels unfair, where circumstances seem impossible, or where opportunities slip away. But the mentally tough individual doesn't dwell on what cannot be controlled. Instead, they choose their attitude, their response, and their actions. And in that choice lies the freedom, the resilience, and the power to create the life they desire. Discomfort is not something to be feared. It is a signal that growth is occurring. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, seeking comfort, and staying within the boundaries of what feels safe. But the truth is, nothing worth achieving ever comes from staying comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of progress, and if you want to develop mental toughness and achieve greatness, you must learn to embrace discomfort as an essential part of your journey. Life is designed to test you, challenge you, and push you beyond what you think is possible. Those who succeed understand this principle and deliberately place themselves in situations that stretch their capabilities. Think about the times in your life when you experienced the most growth. Chances are, those moments were uncomfortable. Maybe it was a new job that required skills you didn't have yet, a relationship that demanded honesty and courage, or a personal goal that seemed impossible at first. In every case, discomfort was present, but so was opportunity. The lesson is simple. The greater the challenge, the greater the opportunity for growth. Winners don't shy away from challenges. They run toward them because they know that every difficulty is a training ground for their mind, character, and future success. Discomfort comes in many forms. It can be physical, like pushing your body beyond what feels easy. It can be emotional, like confronting fear, rejection, or uncertainty. It can be mental, like solving a complex problem or learning a skill that seems beyond your current capabilities. The moment you recognize discomfort as a teacher, you begin to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing it as a punishment or an obstacle, you see it as a tool that molds you, shapes you, and prepares you for the victories ahead. Every uncomfortable situation you face is an opportunity to build strength that will serve you for the rest of your life. Most people avoid discomfort because they equate it with danger or failure. They believe that if something is uncomfortable, it must be bad for them, and they retreat. But discomfort is not the enemy, stagnation is. Avoiding discomfort keeps you where you are, while embracing it propels you forward. The mentally tough individual understands that growth is not found in ease. It is found in effort, struggle, and persistence. Each time you willingly step into discomfort, you are training your mind to handle adversity, to persevere when the odds are against you, and to rise above circumstances that would break others. One of the most powerful ways to embrace discomfort is through consistent action. Action breeds courage, and courage strengthens mental toughness. When you take action in the face of fear, uncertainty, or difficulty, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. You begin to develop a resilience that becomes automatic. The first time you take that uncomfortable step, it feels daunting, but each subsequent step becomes easier because your mind and body are learning that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of perseverance are lasting. It is also essential to understand that discomfort is a measure of how far you are from your comfort zone. The bigger the challenge, the greater the discomfort, and the more opportunity you have to grow. If you consistently operate within the boundaries of what feels safe, you may feel comfortable, but you will never achieve extraordinary results. Winners deliberately seek experiences that challenge them because they know that growth is forged in the furnace of discomfort. Every new skill, every promotion, every personal breakthrough requires you to leave the familiar behind and venture into the unknown. There is a paradox here that is critical to understand. The very thing you fear most is often the thing that will make you stronger. Fear and discomfort are closely linked. When you confront what scares you, whether it is public speaking, financial risk, or personal confrontation, you build confidence and resilience. Avoiding fear may feel safe in the moment, but it erodes your mental toughness over time. Embracing fear, on the other hand, strengthens your mind, expands your capabilities, and prepares you for challenges you have not yet imagined. Every victory over discomfort is a victory over fear itself. Another aspect of embracing discomfort is developing patience and perseverance. Growth rarely happens instantly. It often requires sustained effort over long periods. There will be moments of frustration, setbacks, and slow progress. It is tempting to quit when results don't come quickly or when the challenge seems too great. But the mentally tough individual does not give in. They understand that discomfort is temporary, but the lessons learned from perseverance last a lifetime. Each time you push through discomfort, you are not just achieving a task, you are strengthening your mind, developing resilience, and proving to yourself that you are capable of enduring more than you thought possible. Embracing discomfort also means welcoming constructive criticism, feedback, and accountability. Many people avoid these experiences because they are uncomfortable, but these are precisely the experiences that accelerate growth. When someone points out your weaknesses or mistakes, it can sting, but it also provides an opportunity to improve. The mentally tough understand that discomfort in learning and correction is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of progress. By seeking out feedback, confronting challenges, and embracing what others might avoid, you position yourself for exponential growth. It is also worth noting that embracing discomfort builds character. Life will always present choices between what is easy and what is right. Choosing the right path is often uncomfortable, requiring sacrifice, delayed gratification, and persistence. Yet every decision to endure temporary discomfort for long-term gain strengthens your mental toughness and integrity. The person who consistently embraces discomfort develops a level of discipline and resilience that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. They become unshakable not because life has been easy, but because they have repeatedly faced difficulty and prevailed. The physically and mentally tough are not immune to pain, they simply do not allow it to dictate their actions. They understand that discomfort is temporary and growth is permanent. Every challenge, every moment of unease, and every difficult decision is a chance to develop skills, character, and resilience that will serve them in all areas of life. By learning to welcome discomfort rather than avoid it, you are essentially teaching your mind to expand, adapt, and thrive in circumstances that would overwhelm most people. Finally, embracing discomfort is about shifting perspective. It is about seeing obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities. It is about understanding that every uncomfortable moment is a chance to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. When you internalize this principle, you stop fearing challenges and start seeking them. You develop the mindset of a winner who does not wait for life to be easy but thrives precisely because it is not. You begin to understand that the path to success is paved with challenges, and every step you take through discomfort is a step toward building an unbreakable mind. Motivation is a fleeting emotion. One day, you wake up feeling inspired, ready to conquer the world, and the next day, that same inspiration is gone, replaced by doubt, distraction, or fatigue. Relying solely on motivation to achieve your goals is like trying to drive a car using only the accelerator without the steering wheel. It might move for a while, but eventually you'll lose direction and momentum. The truth is that mental toughness and real success are built on consistency, not on bursts of motivation. It is the discipline to show up every day, to do the work even when you don't feel like it, that separates ordinary people from everyday winners. Consistency is the engine that turns effort into results. When you commit to small, deliberate actions every day, you build habits that compound over time. Motivation may get you started, but consistency keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Think about the people who have achieved remarkable success in their lives. They didn't wait for inspiration to strike. They developed routines, systems, and practices that propelled them forward regardless of their feelings on any given day. Each action may seem insignificant in isolation, but when repeated consistently, it creates unstoppable momentum. One of the key principles of consistency is the power of daily practice. Every small action you take consistently contributes to your growth. Reading a few pages of a book every day, exercising regularly, setting aside time for reflection, practicing a skill, or planning your day. These are the habits that create compounding results. It is not the occasional effort that makes a difference. It is the persistent effort over weeks, months, and years. The mentally tough understand that success is not the result of rare, extraordinary efforts, but the accumulation of consistent, purposeful actions. Consistency also develops resilience. When you commit to doing something every day, you inevitably face days when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or challenging. Some days you will feel tired, unmotivated, or distracted. The key is to keep showing up despite those obstacles. Every time you persist in the face of resistance, you train your mind to stay strong and focused. And over time, persistence becomes a natural habit. Mental toughness is forged in these moments of deliberate effort, when you choose to continue even when you don't feel like it, because you understand that the long-term payoff outweighs the temporary discomfort. Another critical element of consistency is focus. Consistency without focus can lead to wasted effort. Many people perform tasks regularly but without direction, thinking that any action is better than none. But the mentally tough understand that consistency must be aligned with purpose. Every daily action should contribute toward a larger goal. By focusing your consistent efforts on what truly matters, you maximize the impact of your work and ensure that each step moves you closer to your desired outcome. Consistency guided by focus is a powerful combination that creates results that most people only dream about. It is also important to understand that consistency is not about perfection. Many people avoid starting or maintaining a routine because they fear failure or believe they cannot do it flawlessly. The truth is that consistency is built through persistence, not perfection. Missing a day, making mistakes, or encountering setbacks does not negate the progress you have made. What matters is that you get back on track and keep moving forward. Winners understand that life is a series of imperfect actions repeated consistently over time, and it is in that repetition that true growth occurs. Consistency over motivation also requires planning and discipline. Motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is something you cultivate. Discipline is the ability to commit to action even when you don't feel inspired. It is what allows you to maintain focus, to show up for yourself, and to follow through on your commitments. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency builds mental toughness. The two work together to create a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. Let's consider an example. Imagine someone trying to improve their health. Motivation might get them to work out intensely for a week after watching an inspiring video, but without consistency, that effort fades and old habits return. Now, imagine someone who commits to exercising for just 30 minutes every day, rain or shine, motivated or not. Over weeks and months, those small, consistent actions lead to noticeable results. Strength increases, energy rises, and confidence grows. The person who relies on motivation alone is at the mercy of their feelings, while the person who prioritizes consistency gains control over their outcomes and builds mental toughness in the process. Consistency also shapes character. Each time you honor your commitments, you reinforce your integrity and build trust in yourself. Mental toughness is not just about achieving goals. It is about becoming someone you can rely on, someone who shows up, follows through, and perseveres. This reliability is the foundation for long-term success, both personally and professionally. When people know that you are consistent, disciplined, and dependable, opportunities naturally follow. Consistency creates credibility, and credibility creates influence. Another dimension of consistency is accountability. To maintain daily habits and actions, it is helpful to hold yourself accountable. This could mean tracking your progress, setting clear goals, or involving others who will encourage and support your efforts. Accountability strengthens consistency by providing structure and motivation to continue when self-discipline alone is challenged. The mentally tough recognize that success is rarely achieved in isolation. By combining consistency with accountability, you create a framework that reinforces your actions and ensures progress even in the face of obstacles. Consistency also has a compounding effect. Just as money compounds over time through regular investment, your actions compound through daily repetition. Small improvements, when applied consistently, lead to exponential growth. Reading 10 pages of a book every day may seem insignificant at first, but over a year, that adds up to thousands of pages of knowledge and insight. Practicing a skill for 30 minutes daily may feel minor, but over months and years, It leads to mastery. The power of consistency lies in this compounding effect, which turns ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. Finally, the principle of consistency over motivation teaches you to take ownership of your success. You cannot control every external factor, and you cannot rely on motivation to carry you through challenges. What you can control is your commitment to consistent action. By taking ownership of your habits, your decisions, and your daily efforts, you develop the mental toughness necessary to face adversity, overcome setbacks, and achieve your goals. Consistency becomes your superpower, a force that carries you through life's uncertainties and positions you to win in ways that fleeting motivation never could